if you're trying to continue with Brock as a heel, then you got to do something to him to make him a heel. And
Sure.
what better than to have him turn on Cody Rhodes, your big guy, your guy that just came back, your franchise that everybody's cheering and rooting for. He's the best guy in the world for Brock to drop.
Let's talk about some other Hall of Famers while we have a chance here. This past weekend, the WWE Hall of Fame, what a ceremony. A lot better than I was expecting. And the highlight, the MVP of that entire thing to me, Conan. What an address he gave. Man.
Yeah. Well, Conan, he's old school, brother, and he knows this business like he knows the back of his hand, man. So, and for him to speak, and what he said was the truth,
Yes.
He wasn't beating around, just letting you tell it like it is. So, congratulations to Conan.
Yeah, Bill, what did you think when you had that speech? In fact, I know what you thought because you sent me a message almost immediately.
Well, this guy was absolutely, he was the recipient of that. Stay still. He was the recipient of Conan's wonderful speech. I've known Conan forever. I never saw him emote so much enthusiasm and love like I saw him do.
Because it came from here, Bill. That was straight from the heart.
Yeah. And he helped discover Ray, and he brought him along for many years. And and just the love of Ray and his wife and his daughter, and that slime son of his walking out of the Hall of Fame award. What a slap in the face, really.
Yeah, I agree. Any other moments from the Hall of Fame that stuck out to you? I mean, I just, I'm trying to pick an MVP for each night, and I really think the Hall of Fame night at Conan was the MVP.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Let's talk about the first night of WrestleMania.
Wait a minute.
What?
You told me off the air when we were doing this, you were also surprised that Andy Kaufman's family didn't even mention that I'm putting and Jerry together.
I think that was on purpose because I heard Vince was backstage, so he probably changed that script at the last second and made sure you weren't mentioned. So
I just wanted to make sure. All right.
That might be true.
Yeah, I think so.
It's true. It's damn true.
On night number 2, Brock Lesnar and Omos, the very guy you were speaking about, I thought was really a well-executed match for what it was.
Yeah.
I thought Brock did. I could see Brock in the ring. You knew who the ring general was in that ring. And Brock was calling spots and doing things that, for me, he was doing anything he could to make Omos look massive. And I thought he did a great job. And I don't know that Brock gets enough respect for the work that he does in that ring, because he's probably, to me, one of the top 5 storytellers in the ring that they have.
I would have. Go ahead, Terry.
And I certainly agree with you on that, Bill. Brock is a phenomenal athlete. And like I said, he did a great job with Omos. I mean, check this out. Omos, the guy just broke into the business here and now walks out on WrestleMania. Yep. Do you know how many guys had to wait years and years for you walked out on WrestleMania? You had to work for that spot right there, man. So I'm just saying, I thought it was a great opportunity for Omos. One of the biggest things could ever happen to him in his life. And he did a outstanding job with the little bit that he's learned and know. MVP was also there to help him out too. So I think those guys had a great match.
I would have loved to have seen Omos win that match, and the next night when Brock killed Cody, that would have been the reason why. That would have just Brock could have beaten everybody up. But I kind of wanted to see that's the one guy that Brock would have to wrestle again somewhere down the line.
I guess we'll find out where everything goes very soon, because things got strange when it comes to Brock Lesnar and where his future is headed. But Omos, I'd be curious to see what's next for him.
Well, Omos killed Elias on Raw. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean he's going to do anything with Elias. They probably just let him kill him and move on. So. The next match on WrestleMania Night 2, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya, Shotzi, Chelsea Green, and Sonya Deville. Your thoughts on that match, Bill?
It was good. I mean, it was just it was a get to the next match.
I was about to say popcorn match, and I hate to say that, but it did feel like a popcorn match to me.
It was good.
Oh, I'd say this. I enjoyed them. They were certainly entertaining.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
it
it was one I could sit back and watch and not like say, well, God, will y'all please come on? But it wasn't like that. But hey, I thought it was okay.
I will tell you the MVP, and we're not finished going through the matches on night number 2, but I want to say who the MVP is for night number 2 right out the gate here. Snoop Dogg. The save that he did with that match when it came to The Miz and Shane McMahon, Shane went down to an injury. Snoop Dogg on the fly creates an ending for that match that to me was perfect for what they were dealt with there. For him to know how to do that and to sell it the way he sold it, congratulations to Snoop Dogg. He belongs in the Hall of Fame, no doubt.
And he became the rock dog that night.
Yep.
Not a bad people's elbow.
Well, Snoop's been around this business for a long time, man. I had a chance to hang out with him at a couple of WrestleManias he's come to, and so Snoop's been around. So, you know, you pay attention and you see what's going on, you know what I mean? Some of this stuff you don't forget. And like I said, man, I'm with you, Bill. He certainly, you know, great save for the night.
Yeah. And, you know, Hunter at the press conference said that there are guys who have been in this business forever, and something like that happens to Shane, and the guy's like, what do I do?
Well, I did see, if you notice while it was happening, Miz's face went from, all right, come on, to, oh, something's happened. You can see it on his face. Now, Miz was calling a few things too when he was down. I saw him doing a few calls from the ground. The poor girl who was the official for that match was trying to tell Snoop, just get down and cover him. Snoop wasn't having it. Snoop was going to do something that was going to entertain the fans before he did that. That's what I love.
Well, here's the other thing, too. She was telling him what was being told to her.
Yeah.
So Snoop kind of went in business for himself, all right? And that, you know, you don't do. Because if Snoop does it, then that tells me I can go out and do it. So, I mean, if they're telling you to go pin the guy, you do what they tell you. But like I said, you know,
he's Snoop.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just work. So the next match was one of the most physical matches I have seen in a very, very long time. Gunther defeating Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. They were just beating the living hell out of one another.
I will tell you, I think after seeing that match, you know, when people say, oh, that wrestling's not real, I haven't watched that match.
Yeah,
okay, that's
absolutely.
number one. Number two, they haven't talked a lot about this, but I think in terms of a top contender for the undisputed Universal Championship, I would pay to see Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar against Gunther.
Oh, I agree. Gunther really is, I think, probably the next Brock Lesnar kind of beat everybody's ass character that you know is going to come in and just raise hell. He's got a stiff chop. Oh my God, that chop!
No slight to the other two wrestlers.
No. Hey, look, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre towards the end of that match were really going at it. I mean, they were throwing bombs in there, and it was. I mean, you knew those guys were going to be feeling it the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, the next match: Bianca Belair holds on to retain the Raw Women's title over Asuka.
Teddy, what do you think?
One word: outstanding.
I thought it was very good. I really did. All right, let's see. We'll move on. What's the next one? We have Edge versus the Demon in Hell in a Cell. I thought it was a fun match. It was unique. Not one of the best Hell in a Cells I've ever seen, but I thought it was a unique match for what it was.
Well, as you know, Edge got, the Demon got hurt when that ladder was thrown at him, and they didn't show this on camera, but they put some staples in his head. I was told, and I agree with you. It wasn't that spectacular Hell in a Cell, but I think they needed to get them out of there.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you, and Teddy, when I saw that happen, when they stopped the match, and you could tell there's something, he must have been really hurt for him to stop that match. It killed the momentum of the match to me because it was building at that point. Old school, I would have liked to have seen a little bit of blood in the match anyhow, but maybe he was pouring a lot more blood than you can see. But if not, I mean, if the wound wasn't bleeding out and it was not that bad, I wish they wouldn't have stopped it. Do what the old school done. Just go. It's a hard way. You can't help it. Keep going.
Publicly traded company. You can't do that.
Well, maybe that's part of the problem. Let's see. The last match, of course, the main event, Cody Rhodes losing to Roman Reigns. I'm wondering, Bill, what do you think Dusty would have thought of that match?
The Dream would have loved that match because, you see, the people expected one thing, baby, if you will. But what they expected, we didn't give them because they got to come back again and see what's going to happen, not end the story the way they wanted to. See, everybody was Cody's going to win. And when everybody's thinking about that, how can we make him lose and not hurt him?
Yeah. Well,
Danny, what do you think?
We talked about it before. I told you that Cody winning is too soon.
You did?
Remember, I told you that already.
Sure
Yeah, but other than that, I thought they had a hell of a match. Great match. But like I said, Cody is back now. He's fresh, so there's a lot of money to be made with him, and there are a lot of stories that can be told on down the line. So I think they made the right call there. And like I said, they said Vince is part of creative now. I don't know, but I would to see Brock drop Cody on Raw. I seen Vince McMahon because that's what you do.
Yeah,
I got a question.
That's what you do,
Teddy. I got a question to ask you, and this is going to go back to the old WCW days. When WWE bought WCW, every WCW guy, 99% of them, when they came into WWE, they got killed. So do you think with Vince taking creative to the highest level that he might have thought, well, this guy came from AEW, why is he beating one of our champions here? Why is he doing this? Do you think?
I don't think he thinks like that. I think he thinks where's the money? That's what I think Vince sees. Vince sees the money. So I don't think it had nothing to do with AEW, none of that. Vince just sees, well, if I do this, how much money can we sell out the next pay-per-view? So anything Vince does, it's money involved. It's about that dollar, man.
But they killed off Cody the next day with Brock Lesnar. They had him murder him. So where does Cody go from here?
But that doesn't kill him. I think that makes him stronger. You know what I mean? So you got to watch and see how this plays out. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to continue with Brock as a heel, then you got to do something to him to make him a heel. And what better than to have him turn on Cody Rhodes, your big guy, your guy that just came back, your franchise that everybody's cheering and rooting for. He's the best guy in the world for Brock to drop.
So does Cody go after Brock, or does he go after Roman Reigns?
He has to. Well, right now he doesn't go after him right now because he's still trying. He wants a rematch. I imagine with Roman. You know what I mean? But there's that story on down the line. There's still Brock waiting in the wings.
Yes. Guys, we're out of time, but we're out of WrestleMania weekend and we're out of time.